This is television for the Isles of Scilly, brought to you with Worldwide Financial Planning, Truro and Penwith College, and the Scilly Lottery. From Radio Scilly, this is scillytv.com. Local food has been on display in all of the island's churches this week as part of the Salonian Food Festival. Visitors to St Martin's Church got to see the wealth of vegetables grown on the island, some of which are sold at honesty boxes and stalls around the island. Jonathan Smith of Transition Scilly is one of the organisers of the first Salonian Food Festival. He says it's been well received and they hope to do it again on a bigger scale next year.
It seems to have been very well received actually, quite a few events going on, very positive feedback so far. I mean, you know, we're well aware it was a fairly quickly organised event. It can be an awful lot better next year, but we see it as a pilot and really something to improve on next year. But I think it's got people thinking about local food and about the meaning of harvest, you know. Transition
Scilly's been encouraging more food production with the planting of Scilly Pearls, a local variety of early producing apple, in a community orchard at Trenawarth.
So the intention is just to use up excess apples, windfalls that would go to waste otherwise, and turn them into juice. And we're hoping that other people are going to bring along their own apples, and then we'll make some nice juice, and who knows, perhaps a bit of cider as well.
Islanders and visitors were encouraged to the Chaplaincy Gardens on Saturday afternoon to try their hand at pressing apples. Nick Lishman was overseeing the process.
There's an enormous amount of pressure on the top, and unless you've crushed the blackberries up, it won't.
It won't actually.
Well, you get some, but some of the blackberries in the middle will actually be.
The Wheelhouse has hosted a book signing session and talk by author Simon Hall. Better known for his work as a TV presenter on BBC Southwest, he's also written a series of 5 books in the TV detective crime novel series.
Well, it goes back to my environment days, and I came over here to do a couple of stories and just fell in love with the place. It's a wonderful place and very kind and lovely people, if I may say so as well, and who could not like Scilly? So we thought we'd get married here, and we've come back a few times since, and back now for an anniversary treat, and of course to talk to some folk as well. Yeah, and I think the population of the island, in my experiences, is very thoughtful, very well educated, very interesting. They obviously like books, so yeah, I think it's obviously a place which reads well. I'm glad that they're reading me too. Oh, that was nerve-wracking, and that's why I didn't tell anybody that was the first time I'd read it in public. But of course you write these things, and you never really know what your words are like until you put them out there and see people's reaction. And I was so pleased that people seemed to enjoy that, but that was a nerve-wracking moment, I assure you. Well, it's a hobby at the moment, but it's becoming more and more. I get asked to do more festivals, more talks about the books, and people seem to enjoy them and ask for more of them. But I also love the BBC, and I believe in what we do in the broadcasting and the news that we do as well. So I hope I'll be able to keep both going side by side. That would make me very happy. Well, I think it's a fact of life, isn't it, that sometimes people are invested hugely in, so you have to get behind them and market them and make the money back. But I do believe that people do understand what a good book is, and some books which have not been hugely marketed, and mine haven't been hugely marketed, it's very gratifying that people will say to their friends, their neighbours, other people in book clubs, try this, it's really good, it's new, it's something different. So I believe that quality does out. Well, I would love to be able to set a book here, and it's going to be one of my ambitions to say to my publishers, if I set a book in the Scillies, it'll be a brilliant book, but you've got to pay for 3 months of study leave if you like to go there and research it. Great place, great locations, great characters. I'd love to set a book here.
Members of St Mary's Theatre Club have met to discuss their successful summer play and plans for the January pantomime. Mikey Perkovich, the director, says the choice of a more contemporary play seemed to work well, and combined with a younger cast led to an energetic performance.
I'd like to think so, but again, we never had actual complaint about it, except some older members thought it was a little racy. But I don't think, compared to perhaps what they see on television, it might have been thought so, but I think having a young cast, 6 people that were all young people, must have made a change, mustn't it?
Mikey says they're planning ahead for the new year already. She'll produce the January panto, and the script is already written.
It's written. It's on the computer. I always start writing one when I'm doing another one. Yes, there will come a time when they'll have somebody else to do it, but at the moment I'm pushing myself forward because I like doing it. I think pantomime's a lovely way to finish the winter.
She says it'd be good to hear from some new members in time for the tryout night for the pantomime on the 13th and 14th of October.
They were talking about pantomime, which I'm going to do, Trouble at Toy Town, it's going to be called, and we're going to have the auditions in October, which I will obviously hope you'll very kindly give us a plug for, on the 13th and 14th, with the actual performance at the end of January.